This is Ian and Jared at the Tropic of Cancer, UAE. Welcome to the GCN Show.
Welcome to the GCN Show.
This week, can we answer cyclist questions more accurately than Google? We reckon we can, although their answer to the question, how do cyclists cheat, is pretty comprehensive.
We have also got your response to last week's show, a new app to report cycling accidents, and Gravel World Series, and time trial bikes are banned.
Now, we know that you don't come to GCN for your current affairs. You come here for a bit of escapism for what's going on in the wider world. But we didn't feel like we could have a GCN show without acknowledging what's going on in Ukraine at the moment.
And without saying that the thoughts of everyone at GCN are very much with everyone in Ukraine, and indeed everyone affected by what is going on at the moment. On with the show. This week in the world of cycling, we learned that the cobbles never disappoint. The annual unofficial opening weekend.
Unofficial because we've already had nearly a month of amazing road racing already.
Exactly. Anyway, they delivered suitably epic and thrilling racing, with Grand Champions Wout van Aert and Annemiek van Vleuten coming out on top in Saturday's Omloop Het Nieuwsblad.
Yeah, Van Vleuten winning in spite of doing basically everything wrong inside the final kilometre, I think you said.
Wow, I did say that, but she basically did everything wrong apart from stomping on the pedals a lot harder than Demi Vollering did.
Well, that is true, yeah. And Fabio Jakobsen won himself even more fans with a great win in Sunday's Kuurne-Brussels-Kuurne. And also, it's got to be said, a very eloquent bilingual interview after that race.
He's great for the sport.
Isn't he?
We also learned that Pedal Me boss Ben Knowles may well have broken the internet with his views on cycling helmets. We had 2,400 comments under last week's show about why he thinks that banning helmets might make cycling safer.
Yeah, judging from them, you lot seem, on balance, I'd say, to disagree.
On balance? I mean, 99.9% disagreed with him.
Yes.
Nathan Ramsey put it quite nicely. I wore a helmet to watch this. Hopefully, it protected me from this advanced muppetry.
Yeah, 2,390 comments about why you should wear a helmet certainly made choosing the Caption Competition winner blooming hard, it has to be said. Now, we like to think of ourselves as experts here at GCN. I think we do,
on
don't
cycling.
we? Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Most of us have done it for many, many years.
But do we know everything about cycling? We thought we'd put ourselves to the test, and so we took to Google to find out what provokes others to take to Google to get answers about cycling. So coming up, 5 of the most popular searches, Google's answer, and then our own far more accurate answer. So first up, where do cyclists pee?
Surely that can't be one of the top questions.
Well, it's not the top question, but the 5th suggestion that comes up if you type in where do cyclists to Google is pee. It's just ahead of poop, incidentally. We've put their phone sandwiched between pee and poop.
There is an image that I didn't want in my head. Anyway, what does Google say about where we pee?
Google says at the side of the road. Now, this is from an article detailing how racing cyclists relieve themselves, but we can give a far more accurate answer, Si, can't we? As two people who've got a combined 60 years of cycling experience and almost 80 years of peeing experience.
That's true, yeah. We use a loo, don't we?
Exactly.
Toilet.
We use a toilet, the good old-fashioned toilet. Now, we use one at home, don't we, before we go out for a ride. We then use it again when we return an hour or so later. And if the ride is a little bit longer, we stop at a cafe, don't we, where they normally have a toilet to use.
Yes, of course, there are times when we need to find a discreet place next to the road, or indeed at the side of the road. But those times are few and far between these days, aren't
Even
they?
at my age, Si, aren't they?
Yeah.
Although I did once pee in my chamois, deliberately.
You didn't?
I did.
Oh, mate.
I was racing, Ghent-Wevelgem, 2009, to the Velo Test team,
right.
It had been flat out from the word go, no let up. I was in the front group, believe it or not, and it was pissing it down with rain. So my thought process went like this. Firstly, nobody's going to notice. I was already wet through. And secondly, it would temporarily warm me up.
I think we should move on from that. Aside from saying that you sold a lot of your kit from that year on eBay, didn't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, number 2, why do cyclists shave their legs?
Yes, this is the top suggestion if you type in why do cyclists into Google. Google's answer, to make massage easier, less painful, and with a lower chance of follicular infection.
Crikey. Are you ready for the real answer?
Go on then.
Vanity. Not aerodynamics, not making it easier to dress a wound should you crash, but plain and simple vanity.
That's right. Cyclists who reach a certain level of seriousness want to look like the pro riders. Never mind the beer gut, we've shaved our legs, and therefore it's hard to distinguish between us and Julien Alaphilippe.
Yeah, now we are speaking purely from the male point of view on this one, of course. We should say, shouldn't we? Yeah. And now number 3, how fast do cyclists go? Google's answer, 25 to 28 miles an hour.
The actual answer is about half that. I mean, Sai does ride a little bit more than half that speed, but he's still in his 30s, let's remember. To be fair to Google on this one, it does say that amateur cyclists ride on flat roads at about 17 to 18 miles per hour, which I guess is fairly accurate if you are a keen amateur cyclist.
Or you're on an e-bike, in which case it's just under 17 miles an hour, Right, next one, how do cyclists cheat? Now this answer is quite a lengthy one because of the sports history, so bear with me here. Google's answer is drug abuse, blood doping, race fixing, jersey tugging, rough riding, illegal pacing, towing, and taking shortcuts.
That is a comprehensive list.
Fairly, isn't it?
You'd think, but actually the real answer, changing your height on Zwift to 130 centimetres.
Yeah, that is a fairly good one. Or using an e-bike up the Col de Madon.
It's not cheating if you still then fail to beat Richie Port's Strava KOM up there.
It is still cheating, Dan, technically.
Well, that's a fair point. Anyway, finally, number 5. Why don't cyclists wear helmets?
Oh, Dan, no, don't go there. Don't go there.
Would you like to know the answer?
Yeah, go on.
Well, Google's answer is that I think this is presumably based on my location here in the UK, because it says we aren't required to by law here in the UK. I'm guessing that those of you in Australia would probably get a different answer from Google.
But what is the real reason? Choice, I guess, isn't it? If it's not a requirement by law to ride with a helmet where you leave, then it's your choice as to whether or not you wear one.
Indeed. Right, let us know what cycle...
Sorry, we should say, unless you work for Pedal Me, in which case you're banned from doing it. But there we go.
Let us know what cycling-related questions you'd like to have answered by us rather than Google. Do that in the comment section below. We might revisit this in a future GCN show.
Yeah, you can leave them in the comment section down below. How many times Dan weed his shorts in bike races will be my first.
I can answer that now. It's just the once.
Oh, just the one.
Didn't enjoy it that much.
You know, people always can tell, like in a race, if someone wheezes themselves, even in a wet race, like if you're riding behind them, you know.
There was no one behind me, so. Next up, your weekly GCN Inspiration, and third prize this week is a GCN Shadow Stand Original, and it goes to Daisy Chain Yoga.
Not a bad birthday ride. And by the look of that photo, I'd have to say I agree. She visited Tenerife for the first time last week and was blown away by its beauty. This was taken in Anaga Rural Park in the northeastern tip of the island. It's, you know what, the Canaries, I think, always surprise people by how amazing they are. Like, they're just incredible islands.
They are.
And the diversity is bonkers.
We need to revisit soon, so it's been a number of years since we were in Gran Canaria.
Many years, Dan, I think, yeah.
Time has flown, even though we're not having much fun. No, we have been. Second place this week gets themselves an endurance book, an enamel GCN mug, and a GCN Gradient green and black word ash saver.
There we go.
And it goes to Matthew V. Fernandez. Big rocks, big watts, riding through all the giant walls of sandstones in Zion National Park. Warm weather is coming. We've already got shorts on.
That is a photo and a half, isn't it? Absolutely awesome. Probably one of those ones where you need to turn your screen on one side, isn't it?
Yes.
But I like the fact that you got big watts as well as big rocks, because if Dan was riding there, it would just be big rocks, wouldn't it?
Fair enough. I've got no riposte to that.
No, you haven't. But you might have a dry chamois that day, wouldn't you? So that'd be good.
Yeah, I think people would notice it that day. It's quite sunny.
Yes, they might. Right then. In first place, though, winning a classic zip hoodie in blue, a core black t-shirt, and a GCN Elite Fly Duo Pack water bottles is this photo from Edgar Zalb. Not sure where Edgar is, but I just loved the caption. Spring is here, early morning ride, and judging from that photo, it really is, isn't it? And like, nothing inspirational about that location at all other than the sun and the sky. I think we can all appreciate
really is
that.
almost here, spring, isn't it? Doesn't January and February drag on in the Northern Hemisphere?
Well,
2 months waiting for spring to arrive.
One of these days, mate, I'll give you my top tips for realising how February is actually the best month of the year, but not for now.
Really?
Yeah.
Not January, though.
No, that sucks.
No getting around January. Right, don't forget, if you want to put yourself in with a chance of winning one of these prizes on next week's GCN show, all you need to do is upload your most inspirational cycling-related photo or video to the GCN app.
And now it's time for Cycling Shorts.
Cycling Shorts now, and we will start with the news that the UCI's new Gravel World Series has sort of been leaked, which is just as well because the first event is in 5 weeks' time.
In the Philippines, which is pretty exciting, isn't it? For a long time, that is a place that I have wanted to visit. So in total, there are 15 World Series gravel events, which will act as qualifiers for a still to be announced inaugural UCI Gravel World Championships.
Yeah, the 10th UCI rainbow jersey you can win. Imagine getting all of them, yeah. Now, in addition to the Philippines, there will be 1 in Australia, 2 in Canada, 2 in the USA, 1 in Mexico, and the rest in Europe. Now, none of the events rang any bells with me, although one of them did jingle. Yeah, because it usually hosts a cyclocross race and now has a gravel race too.
Jingle gravel.
Yes, precisely. Yeah, see what I did there? Yeah.
Now, we're not entirely sure what the hold-up is with the announcements on this front, but you'll all be very pleased, I'm sure, that the rule book for round 1 says...
Wait for it. UCI gravel rules. Okay, so sock height? No. Tyre width? No. Baggy shorts? Banned.
None of the above.
Oh.
You can ride whatever bike you want, Si, so long as it is not a recumbent, a tandem, or a time trial bike.
Boom! There it is. The UCI have banned time trial bikes from gravel.
Yes. That is presumably before we created grind trial bikes in last week's show, though. So they might have a rethink, mightn't they?
Yeah, they might.
Speaking of banning time trial bikes, I had a chuckle at the Cycling Tips article last week that questioned whether road bike time trials would be any safer, judging by Ineos Grenadier rider Luke Plapp at the recent UAE Tour.
Yes, it was a good article, that, wasn't it? From the footage, he does seem to be using the force to guide himself more than his eyes, doesn't he? But I guess at least he is slightly closer to his brakes.
There is that, I guess, but doesn't know what he needs to brake for. Anyway, averaged 49 kilometres per hour for a 10-minute effort, which is pretty good for a road bike, but 6.5 k per hour slower than Stefan Bissegger, who won on his TT bike.
Wow. Okay. Now, if you want bike races without the influence of bike tech, though, look no further than the Esports World Championships, which took place again on Zwift this year at the weekend. The men's and the women's 54 kilometre long races both came down to the final climb. In the women's, reigning champion Ashley Moolman-Passier went early but faded to 4th, pretty much within sight of the line, wasn't it? The winner was a Zwift Racing League hitter, Lois Addergeest, just ahead of Cecilia Hansen and Zoe Langham, who, let it be said, is 2 weeks away from her final medical exams, which is kind of cool, isn't it?
I really hate people with that much time.
Well, there is that, yeah.
In the men's race, again, the reigning champion was rolled on the line, although Jason Osborne did hold on for the bronze medal. He was beaten by 2 Australians. Freddie Ovett came in 2nd and got silver, and Jay Vine, Zwift Lord, took the rainbow jersey.
Yeah, winner of Zwift Academy, pro for Alpes and Fenix, and now World Esports Champion.
Congratulations, Jay. More news from the racing world, and Lizzie Deignan, winner of last year's Paris-Roubaix, has just announced that she's not going to be racing this year because she's pregnant. She is expecting the birth of her 2nd child. Huge congratulations from all of us here at GCN.
Absolutely, yeah. Also, let it be said, she announced that pregnancy at the same time as a contract extension with her team, Trek Segafredo, which we think is seriously cool, don't we? Trek are one of the companies really leading the way with equality between men and women athletes, and building maternity leave into racing contracts is fantastic so that women don't have to choose between having a family and a racing career, just like their male counterparts.
It is really brilliant on their part, isn't it? EqualX have done something very similar. Interesting bit of news from Australia now. University of the Sunshine Coast Centre for Human Factors and Socio-Technical Systems are gathering data from cyclists around the country to better understand how and why incidents occur, and also how to stop them happening in the future.
You know, the entrance exam to get into that university is whether you can spell it in the department.
I'm in!
Yeah. You reckon you can spell that? Fair play, mate. Now, they have developed an app called the Cyclist Incident Reporting Tool, and it's available on the Apple and the Play Store. It basically asks riders to record their own incidents and upload them. So, if you live in Australia, please do it. I think it's a good initiative, that.
It is a good initiative, yes. Anyway, we're going to finish Cycling Shorts with a request for help, if you might be able to. The Flames Cycling Club, based in Freetown, Sierra Leone, recently lost 5 bikes that were destroyed in a car collision. Now, fortunately, nobody was hurt in that collision, but it has left them without any bikes.
Yeah, and they are now less than a month away from the Tour de Lunza, the biggest race they can do in the absence of a recognised national federation. So if any of you got any chance that you might be able to provide or lend some bikes or even just equipment to the team for the race, then if you send us a message on Facebook, we can pass it on to their team manager.
Right, just to finish Cycling Shorts, a quick update on what we've got coming up for you on GCN Plus. And from a racing point of view, you do not want to miss this Saturday because it is the women's and then the men's Strade Bianche. This is a huge one, isn't it? We've just done our preview show earlier on this morning. You'll be able to watch that at some point this week. It's available worldwide except for New Zealand. Sorry once again for the residents over there. But it's an amazing race and it leads into Paris-Nice starting the following day.
Yeah, if you can't watch it live, of course you can also watch it on demand. It's ad-free. There's short and long form highlights as well. Plus, there's pre and post race shows as well. So definitely check that one out. And also, dropping this week is the latest GCN Plus documentary, another of our Legends series. So Bernie Eisel went to hang out with Oscar Freire, 3-time world champ, one of the coolest bike racers of his era, and certainly probably the most talented, I think.
He only needed to train for about 3 days to be on top race-winning form, didn't he?
Basically, yeah, he never did anything except win races, and that was that, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, that's one of a fair few Legends films we've got now on the app. So don't forget, we've got Contador on there, we got Andy Schleck, Cancellara. Yeah, there's some proper hitters. Jens Vogt is on there as well. Johan Museo. So yeah, do make sure you check those out as well.
My one's not on there yet because I've been presenting some of them.
Yeah, no, we just didn't have time to film down the. But now we know about the shorts incident. Yeah, well, there'll be a call pretty quickly, I reckon.
Hack / bodge of the week. Now we'll start with this one that came in from Sorenshin. The bolt that I have to screw in snapped. I can't afford to buy another shoe, so I tried to fix it myself with the nuts and bolts that I stole from my dad's garage. Hope that it will last me for a while.
Nice. I think what we're looking at there is the inside of his cycling shoe, and actually, that's a blooming good hack, that, isn't it?
That looks to me like it will last you a fair while longer. Done a good job there. It's
yeah,
a hack from me.
It took a while to work out what we were looking at from the photo that we could see, didn't it? It was a bit like, what is that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that hack from me. Anything to get a serviceable part working perfectly for even longer.
Yeah, if you can't afford new shoes. Who are the 38% of you that voted that bodge? Well, you didn't read the caption properly.
Even if you can afford new shoes, if they're otherwise perfectly serviceable, then that's wicked. Yeah.
True that.
Thumbs up. True that. Right, next up, we got this from Lou94. Impromptu cable routing for bamboo frame. Now, this might be quite niche. Don't know how many of you out there are looking to either make yourself a bamboo bike or even have internal cable routing on it. But if you do, then simply attach a magnet to 2 bamboo skewers, stick it down the down tube from the bottom bracket, and away you go. That is to get rid of the membranes that exist to stop the bamboo being
I think that is the way
tube.
I would have gone about tackling that particular problem with the bamboo bike size, so I'm going to say hack.
Yeah, I think that's good. Although maybe before you actually made the bike, you could have sorted that issue out when you had just your bamboo tube.
Well, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, so I'm going to say bodge. I think you could have done that better.
Oh, yeah. Well, you are in the minority side because 2/3 of people went for hack, 1/3 went for bodge. John C1, pizza box. Recently upgraded to disc brake bike. Don't yet have a disc brake protector. Improvised with last night's pizza box. It's probably about as greasy as anything that you're about to put on your bike.
Good point, yeah. Cheese contaminates disc rotors really badly. We've been here before, haven't we? And I'm going to say again, I don't feel the need for a disc rotor protector. But every time one of these comes up on Hack or Bodge, I kind of think, well, maybe I should, even though my brakes seem to work fine. But anyway, I'm going to say bodge for that one.
I'm going to say massive bodge for that. Amazingly, 44% of you voted that a hack. What's wrong with you all?
Very strange. Right, next up, we've got this one from Ruler65.
It's more like ruler.
Ruler65, yeah. Mudguard save 25k into a 200km Audax the day after Storm Eunice, which was battering the UK here a week or so ago. Anyway, broken mudguard. So, Had not zip ties, brackets blame Cy for this, crikey, made do with 2 of the elastic bands that come with the inner tubes to secure the mud guards to the arms worked a treat. So I've got to say, firstly, that's a hack in my book, if you manage to fix it with what you find in your saddlebag. But also, I'm so sorry about the zip ties. I'm giving the wrong impression. It's not that I hate zip ties. I hate zip ties when they're a permanent solution to a problem. Like to live in your saddlebag to get you out of a sticky situation. I think they're amazing. It's just when you get home, you cut them off and then fix it with something proper, don't you? So,
well, he has put PSI, I'm now going back to carrying zip ties.
Well done. Yeah, I like that. Good stuff. That's what I would have done.
Next up, Mad Dog 909, indoor use only. Installed 2 stems, one with road bars and the other with mountain bike bars to allow for more hand positions. My hands and fingers go completely white and numb from riding the turbo trainer due to nerve and circulation issues. So I also added some padding and it really helps.
That's cool. Oh, what can you say to that?
But it doesn't look very cool or neat, does it? But if it solves the problem of numb hands.
White, numb hands? Oh, that sounds savage. No, I think that's a hack from me. If it sorts your numb hands and fingers out.
I can't decide on this one. I'm adamant that Mad Dog could have done a better job with the same outcome than that.
Well, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean the pipe lagging looks like there weren't even scissors involved with some of that. So
just ripped it off, shoved it on, and hoped for the best, and it worked.
Pretty sure I can see a zip tie or 2 there as well.
Exactly.
So maybe it is a Bodge, but no, I like what you've done there. Anything to stay comfy.
I'm still saying Bodge, I'm afraid.
Hey.
You're sticking with hack.
Oh, I am. Yeah, no, I applaud. Prioritising comfort over style.
Okay, well, 63% of users said Bodge.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, Botterblick 59, bike goes to service. My lovely cross bike needed a service, so why not take advantage of an extra bike ride? I drove it over on my Bullet cargo bike. Totally win-win on a Friday. Yes, that is a proper win-win.
Does
I like that.
look like it may have been obstructing vision whilst riding.
True, and you wouldn't want to crash with that in front of you, would you? But still,
Maybe you should have put some of Mad Dog's pipe lagging stuff around the handlebars before you set off for a slightly safer and softer landing if you had crashed.
It looks like quite the contraption though. It's not like an impromptu, I'm still going to take my bike there.
I'm still going to go with hack for that one.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, 69% went with hack. Right, last one this week, Tom Heenan, Allen key extension. On holiday in Tenerife, refitting Campy Ultra Torque chainset and needed to extend the 10mm Allen key. Normally, I would use a seat post. On holiday, I used a panhandle from the villa. Well, presumably you still had a seat post.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a carbon seat post, and at home he's got an old aluminium seat post that he uses for this specific purpose.
If I was Tom, I think I might have tried to plan for that eventuality and brought something from home rather than risk it for a biscuit.
So you're deeming planning a Bodge and therefore the ultimate hack.
I'm thinking
also a Bodge.
If I was going to take my chainset off, knowing that I needed quite a specific 10mm Allen key for the purpose of attaching Campagnolo Ultra Torque cranks, I think I might have brought my trusty old seat post to guarantee that I was going to be able to ride my bike rather than go, oh, thank goodness there's a panhandle.
Based on what I've seen when you've unpacked your bike when we get a broadside, you don't think that well in advance in your planning?
I don't take my cranks off.
No, fair enough. But it also strikes me that panhandle looks pretty flexible, like it might bend very easily.
Not ultra torque, you might say. Yeah.
Anyway, it looks a Bodge to me. I'm going to go with Bodge.
I'm going to go with Bodge as well, but I hope your crank stayed on, Tom, basically.
Right, well, 52% of you went with Bodge for that one, so it was pretty close. Next week's Hacks and Bodges are already on the app for you to vote on, but you can get involved ready for 2 weeks' time by uploading them there.
Beautiful era of Campy, can I just say that?
Does look nice, doesn't
it? Those 5-arm chain sets, same era as our cassettes, mate.
I barely looked at it because I was looking at the saucepan. Yeah, I've still got those cassettes.
Well, yeah.
Going up in value by a couple of pence each day.
Yeah. 11 speed, 11 to 23, straight through block, you know where to find us. Caption Competition now, that part of the show where you get a chance to get your hands on a coveted GCN Elite water bottle. All you got to do is put a witty caption in the comment section down below and we will sift through 2,390 comments in order to find the winner, who is...
The first person we found.
Actually, the first 2 comments I found said that you should win it. So I went through another 500 comments until I found one that didn't. Anyway, no, Kenneth Macbeth, congratulations to you. Caption, mechanic, COVID may be on its way out, but I'll still be wearing a mask for occasions like this. Yes.
Very good, Kenneth. Get in touch with us on Facebook and we'll get the bottle out to you if you give us your address. This week's photo comes from the podium of Kuurne, Brussels Kuurne on Sunday. I will get you started, as ever. Introducing the brand new Quickstep Alpha Vinyl Ass Saver.
Nice, see you did there. Fabio Jakobsen, an ass saver. Yeah. Adds to his list of many qualities, I should say.
Well, yeah, like you said, it was a great interview that he gave in multiple languages after his win, wasn't it?
Brilliant,
5 wins from 11 race days so far this year, Fabio Jakobsen.
that
Anyway,
right?
we're getting off topic. Leave your best captions in the comment section just down below. We'll pick a winner next week. Hopefully, there won't be quite as many comments asking cycling-related questions as there were about helmets. Some comments of the week now before we let you know what's coming up on the channel, starting with these that came under gravel versus road. Steph Turman, Manon crushed this ride. So much respect for her fighting through and being a champ for women cyclists. Watching this video convinced me to try my longest ride ever this spring. Well done, Manon.
Yeah, that was some effort, my word. 185 Ks of Strada Bianca.
Chapeau.
Ron Byers, though, he actually shared the same sentiments as me, which is that more thought needs to go into the choice of gravel tyres. Ollie packed the tractor tyres for Strada Bianca gravel. You need the file treads. Anyway, Ron Byers said, more thought needs to go into gravel tyres. That route had a lot of pretty smooth gravel. They should be using faster gravel tyres. They should.
We shall pass your advice on to Ollie.
Yeah.
Steve Seppala put, well done both of you. I had a tear in my eye for Manon knowing what she went through. I feel very proud of her accomplishment. Now to fire up my GCN Plus and watch those races.
Boom.
Yes, reminder, it's coming up this Saturday. Do not miss it.
You don't live in New Zealand, do you, Steve?
Oh, I hope
No.
not.
Okay, good.
If you do, fly somewhere else for Saturday.
Yeah. Okay, under Saturday's video, 2 versus 1, which was awesome, where we had World Tour Pro Fred Wright taking on the combined might of Ollie and Alex on their new Merida Sculptura. Are they Sculpturas? They were Sculpturas, yeah, sorry. Momentary memory blank there. Anyway, Buster Brown said, boy, Freddie has really improved. No longer a newbie for sure. It's good point there, yeah.
Yeah. Jensen Wiesenhahn put, it's funny how at 5:24 they're struggling to hold pace and there's someone in the background going on a leisurely ride and keeping up.
I love that bit. Yeah, that was one of my favourites. And then Santiago Diaz said, actually, you all should have used the same model of helmet. I'm not entirely sure that Alex and Ollie lost 4 minutes because of their helmets, but anyway, speaking of which though, it's probably time that we
brace yourselves.
That's it.
We'll
Delved into some of the comments. Now, it was a really good comment section, actually. We're joking about the volume of comments, but it was really civil and like a pleasant place to have a debate. So most of you did seem to agree with yourselves, it has to be said. But Matthew MG said, the argument that one head injury isn't enough to justify a helmet. Ask the guy with a head injury how he feels about it. Which is a pretty blooming good point, isn't it? And David Morse said something similar. The problem is that people don't care about population data. They care about themselves and whether they are going to die. So yeah, you can't really ban people from wearing helmets because if you are the one person with a head injury, that massively sucks.
It does. I'm not going to disagree with that.
No.
Eric H put 100% agree. It's a fancy to think that bikers have enough control of the risks of the road to not need a helmet. And as always, I don't understand the downside of wearing a helmet. David Patrick 79, Ben makes a lot of great points, but none of them justify taking away the choice of his employees to protect themselves. Whilst Richard Burton wrote, no need to argue at all, the case is perfectly clear. In places where there's no infrastructure and everyone wears a helmet, cycling is much, much riskier.
That's right. Whereas with places with adequate cycling infrastructure, cycling is safe and no one needs to wear a helmet. So we need politicians with the cojones to do something about it. So, yeah.
It was very interesting. I enjoyed reading through, not all of the comments, I will confess, but certainly the top ones when I revisited the show.
Yeah, a few people saying that we shouldn't have given Ben the platform as well, actually, which is a valid point because it's certainly an outlier of an opinion. But I think some of the points he raised actually are really valid, which is that helmets aren't the solution to cycling safety. They're part of it, an important part of it, but actually the important points about infrastructure and things like that, there still needs to be a lot more done, shouldn't it? And we as cyclists shouldn't blame each other if we're wearing helmets or not.
No, very true. There are those that say we shouldn't give Ollie a platform, but I disagree with them. He should stay. Right, coming up this week on Wednesday, can we descend as fast as Mathieu van der Poel can climb?
Interesting.
Could be close.
I think it might be. That's at Strada Bianca. So yeah, check that one out. Thursday.
Yeah, still me, Si.
Sorry?
Hold your horses till Friday.
Whoa.
On Thursday, benefits to training early in the morning and a Strada Bianca preview. Yeah, it should come out on Thursday, so look forward to that one as well. Are there benefits to training early in the morning?
I don't know, actually.
Well, we should both watch with great interest.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got no idea. On Friday, can I go now?
Yeah.
GCN versus Filippo Ganna. I can't imagine this is going to end well for poor old Alex. But anyway, he stepped up to the mark gamely. Saturday, retro versus modern helmets. Interesting. I've seen one of the helmets that we've got. It's literally Greg LeMond's old Team Z Giro helmet with his signature on there. I'm so nervous that it's our responsibility. It's in the building. It's like a piece of cycling history. And then on Sunday, we let a triathlete design a road ride. And this is what happened. No, they refused. We asked, but they said no, they don't need them. Right, there we go, mate. I think that's it.
I think that is all for this week's GCN show. I enjoyed that, again.
I did as well.
Thank you very much for watching. We will, of course, be back this time next week with less helmet talk and less helmet comments, but maybe answering some of your cycling-related questions.
Yeah, can you believe it? 9.5 years on, you managed to rock out a Cervelo test team story I hadn't heard before. Chapeau, Dan.
Yeah, I'll get another one in about a year's time.